All right, so doing your taxes in the military. So let me give you a quick overview of how I went the process. So, I had a job, beginning of 2015, I had a full-time job in the civilian world. So roughly within that job, I earned right about $5,000. It was a little bit more, but for easy numbers, 5,000. And I left for boot camp June. So June till December, I made roughly, rough figures, easy estimated numbers, $9,000. So $14,000, over the course of 2015. And so, when I started to look into, where I can file my taxes, usually I always went to H&R Block with my family, but what I found out most military people use, and I haven't really met anyone else who use any other service, is the fact that people use TurboTax. So, I use TurboTax, and it was very, very easy. Like, they put in the commercial, they say like, hey, it doesn't take a PhD to do it. And so, I went through it, and it was very, very easy. It was a step-by-step process. So good and bad. Good because it's so easy. At the same time, bad because their customer service, if you call them, if you have a question on the phone, it really sucks. So one of the things that you want to keep in mind is when I filled out my civilian W-2, that was the bulk of the return. And then I'm from Pennsylvania, so the second, when I filled out my military W-2, it said, it went up by like a little bit. So when I filed my civilian W-2, it was like 600 return. And then when I filed my W-2 for the military, it went up to like 700. At the same time, it said I owe my state tax like, $300. So I was like, that can't be right. None of my friends had to pay their own state taxes. Why do I? And one of the things that you want to keep in mind and what you need to watch for if you have that problem like I did is, a lot of times when you're going through, you're going to miss like a check mark box where it says, hey, you need to be a military member. Now, they ask you this multiple times, but this one in particular is within the deduction section of the TurboTax when you file your thing. So my overall tax return was $700 roughly, and I got it direct deposited, and they say it's going to come within April. I filed it beginning of April, so April 1st, and it's going to be direct deposited sometime within April. So it was a pretty quick time, and a lot of people who already filed it at January, they already got theirs back within that same month. So it was a very, very easy process. So if you are having trouble with, when you file your W-2s, when you file your taxes, when you're in the military, just know, look into TurboTax. A lot of, I don't know a lot about taxes, okay? So you can't ask me the tax questions. I don't know exactly how it breaks down, what the system is, what the percentage is. I just know I got 5% return out of $14,000, okay? So there's a lot of help out there for the military members. So within the military, there's the personal financial advisors that you have the access to if you are having trouble filing your taxes within the military. So utilize them to your advantage, all right? So that's it for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.